Plunge issue 6. Joe Hill and Stuart Immonen on the art. The final issue of this Carpenter mashup that never was.
Yep.
So it plays out kind of as you'd expect. The baby, they're calling
It is
it.
born.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she gets down there. She opens up the hatch, and all the little worms swim in there, and the Russians show up. And even though you don't have to translate it, I translated it with Google
Of
Translate.
course you did. Did you type it all in?
No. Google Translate has a camera thing.
Ah,
and you get it more or
I didn't know
less. Yeah, so it's just hilarious because you didn't have to. You get the vibe from the art because Imminent's that good. But they're just like, they're basically going, what the shit's going on? What did we hit?
that.
It's all that kind of stuff. And then when you get when the sub surfaces and they're talking to the Americans
And they're trying to speak English.
yeah, yo, homies, how's it going? Out in the cold. And I was just like, okay, good for Hill for keeping the humor as
good.
it's getting super dark. Because then, right after they say that, the creature that starts tearing apart reality just picks up the sub and tears it apart.
Oh yeah. Actually, before we get to that, though, I want to talk about some of the art here. Where all the parasites and the dead guys all kind of leave because they're hey, we're keeping our word, we're all leaving. They all swim to the submarine that's about to give birth to the thing, and I couldn't help but notice the intentional similarity to sperm swimming as it's going into the hatch, and then of course it's literally going to give birth. So there's a lot of very intentional imagery there, and if it makes you go, wait, if these parasites that are like the yay big, if that's like a single sperm, then how big's this creature going to be? If you think about how big we are compared to human sperm, think about it right now. Everyone, think about it right now.
No, don't think about that. So they so they go in there, and then the things hatch, and before they leave, they tell the crew that's still lashed to the things that, oh, we apologize because when the baby's gonna be born, it's gonna have an appetite, and that's kind of your first hint. And then this is where it gets really into Lovecraft type things where it starts ripping apart reality, but...
Well, first of all, just to explain what it looks like, it's like this big, it's like a giant tree, essentially. Like a mutated...
tentacle tree.
Yeah, a mutated tentacle tree with like bulbous things on it. Clark, the brother of the captain, they can't quite save him, they can't quite untie him before he drowns. So he goes. So Captain Carpenter is going to go on a suicide mission. He's going to use a couple of things he's going to trick the big thing into wanting the ingot, right? The thing that makes them obsessed.
Well, he puts together, well, first he tries to blame himself, and the scientist lady, she's like, and I know I should know her name, but she's like, no, you're doing everything you want, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here, you're doing what you should, you're salvaging, basically. She tells him she's salvaging humanity, for the lack of a better term, and that your brothers would want, don't do this and stuff. And he puts together the crew, the Derleth, basically these gifts that they gave him was so they could save the day, right? That deep down the crew of the Derleth knew how to stop these things.
Yeah, it was like they were kind of still... It's like they were still in the coding, and they were intentionally trying to like make sure the tools for how to destroy this thing.
Right.
Because basically, this thing's going to destroy the world. It's opening a portal to hell or something in the sky.
Or something, which I like, because in the art it starts to look like old school, like stuff from tapestry, like medieval underneath, and it's just it was so weird to see, and it stands out in that way, which is real cool. But yeah, so he puts together, that his brother was able to go deep enough to figure all this out, and that nothing can, because they didn't have eyes as those creatures, that's why the ingot didn't affect them. Well, this creature clearly has eyes, because he's going to use it to attract it back and then blow it to hell.
Yeah, it's basically... it's a suicide mission. She's not happy he's doing it. So the one survivor, who's the one who's missing the eye, grabs her so he can go on this mission.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, like, this is on me. My entire crew died, so I'm going, and there's no way I'm walking away from this. I'm going to go kill this thing. And we get this gorgeous art of him swimming with a flare under the water. So you got this red flare in the blue dark water as this is chasing him. gorgeous panels, and then of course this giant water explosion, which honestly isn't entirely dissimilar to the explosion from that happened a couple of weeks ago.
True.
There's a big wall of water coming up like that. Made me think of that.
No, true. He also sees his brothers as he's going down.
Yeah, that's a nice moment.
They'll be reunited. It was real nice. And
so
also Captain Carpenter takes the guy that had the ingot to get it back from him. Basically starts to beat the ever living piss out of him. And they basically leave him for dead, which then he's left by himself on this island. And you're like, oh no, what's going to happen?
With his jar with the one specimen of the parasite. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So the ending is basically he's still on the old derelict ship with this parasite in him. So there's still one left. There's still one of these things out there. But the two survivors go away in the boat and they're looking for civilization. So no.
Yeah. Real fitting ending. I think it stuck the ending better, I think, than Basket did. If we're comparing the Joe Hill books.
I think that's fair. They both feel like movies to me. Both of them feel like they're paced and function like a movie. They do. Yeah, I'd happily watch the adaptation of this. So if anyone wants to get on it, feel free.
For sure.
Feel free.
Sure. Whoever, because he has a deal. I mean, Lock and Key was what, Hulu? That came out on?
No, Netflix.
Was that Netflix? Okay, I remember there's a Hulu one in production. And they were vastly different. So whoever wants to get on this one, if it's HBO Max or because it is DC, that would be nice.
So there you go. That's Plunge issue 6. Matt, what are you giving it?
I'm giving this 8.5.
Probably straight 8 for me. So there you go.
Yeah.